Welcome back to another episode of the Mythic Giraffe podcast. I'm Chris,
And I'm Ron.
and we're brought
On
to you
this.
today in sunny weather.
Yeah. The tropical
Currently in the
storm has
middle
come.
of what's the name of this one?
Ophelia,
Oh
I
yeah,
think. I believe.
Ophelia leg.
Yeah. Coming one of those random storms that every once in a while hits the mouth of the bay and just comes up the bay.
Yep. Yeah. And it's surprising because it's not like we're in hurricane season or anything.
No, we still are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my favorite thing
we're
about
not under a state of emergency or anything.
No, I think we are. Well,
Yeah.
you guys are.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite thing about the shore. They schedule all these things in like September, October.
Yeah.
It's like that's prime hurricane season. That's the time these things happen.
Yeah.
And
then they're like, oh, we didn't know this was going to happen. It's like, well, again, also a hurricane. It's not like you just wake up, and it's like, oh yeah, sunny skies, hurricane. These things develop.
Yeah.
So,
and this one's, I mean, this is the first one I've seen for a tropical storm where they were like, you shouldn't be out on a boat.
Yeah.
Because that's how, like, the bay, like I saw the Bay Advisory, they're like, seek shelter in a harbor now. Oh, well, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Oh, I hope their harbors aren't like Salisbury's where they're only open Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And only certain Sundays.
Well, the harbor's open.
Well, yeah, but there's no harbor master.
Services are closed.
Yeah. Does the harbor master always just have to wear like the yellow slicker or some kind of slicker with the hat and have a little lantern?
I don't think that's I think that's the Morton's Fisherman guy you're talking about.
Yeah, but I feel like the harbor master should look similar.
Or
maybe should look like the sea captain from Simpsons.
That's what they should look like. Yeah. With a plastic lobster on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yar.
That's I don't even know who the harbor master is in Salisbury anymore.
I don't know. Yeah.
Do we have one?
Yeah. There's some guy that you can call.
But we used to have a full-time one now, and now we don't anymore.
Oh, no, it's part-time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think they're hoping that when that developer builds those condos right across from the chicken processing plant, that they will take over the marina.
That's a weird hope.
Yeah. Well, I asked, I was like, have you talked to Purdue about the smell? Oh, the smell's gotten much better.
Has it?
No, it hasn't.
Every time I have to go uptown in the summer, I'm like, oh, God, how do you people live like this?
Yeah. Well, our offices, we can't open windows because it's a secure building or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I could smell the chicken inside my office.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, it's like seeping through the masonry. Ugh.
When I'm done being the hazmat team leader for the city of Salisbury, which is getting closer and closer every day, one of the things I will not miss is having to go do the hazmat safety plan every 5 years for Purdue. Yeah. And they always call in like August, and they're like, hey, can you come to the... No. I'll let's do November.
Yeah. It's just, oh, God. And I mean, I'm not a big poultry fan anyway, but then after that, it's just like, yeah, I want nothing to do with chicken.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, I can remember when we would take those tours and you would see the line and all of that. And it's like, and they'd be like, here, we'll give you some chicken to, cook for dinner. It's like, no, I'm good. No.
Yeah. But then there's the maniacs who are like, oh, I'm fine with it. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're not human.
Yeah. And again, I don't understand it with chicken. You can open a package that has steak in it, set it out on your counter for hours. No smell.
Sure.
Chicken. You barely cut the plastic open and it's rot.
Yeah.
I feel like chicken smells worse faster than fish.
Probably true. You're making me really make a good case for my vegetarianism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of the things you don't miss as a vegetarian. You're like, oh, like I don't have to go to the grocery store and feel like I'm giving myself salmonella by touching things.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. And chicken has a weird texture.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, chicken wings are good. That's about...
Yeah.
That's about
chicken
the extent.
Nuggets.
I don't know. You can just have the vegan nuggets and they're just as good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had
It's
some good vegan nuggets.
it's just fried breading that you care about with a little bit of bounce.
Oh, yeah, it's the coating. It's not
Yeah,
the. Yeah.
it's not the
Mm.
chicken.
Yeah. That's like, I can get, buffalo, was it like Nashville cauliflower or whatever?
Yeah, yeah,
Just as good.
yeah. Sometimes it's a little slimy.
Yeah, it depends on how they cook it.
They got to be really careful how they cook it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, I got thinking, hurricane. There was a time 20 years ago that, like, hurricane, I better go get a 30 pack, have a hurricane party. Now I'm like, do I have enough seltzer and chicken fries, tater tots?
Yeah, yeah. We we put gas in the car yesterday. The guy's like, "Oh, you getting ready for the storm coming up?" I'm like, "Nah, I just need gas.
Yeah.
Wasn't really,
Yeah.
wasn't really thinking about it. Not
Yeah.
going anywhere."
Yeah. Yesterday I was like, I had a quarter tank of gas. I was like, I'll just wait till tomorrow because I'm sure there's a bunch of people. Oh, go fill up. There's a storm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst part. Like yesterday, we get to the grocery store,
Oh my gosh.
but it's a college town, so college kids they don't care.
Oh yeah.
So the grocery store was
Yeah,
empty.
they're the ones out there buying the 30 packs.
There were ones buying 30 pack. Now, if I went to the liquor store, they'd have been stuffed full of them. But
Yeah.
the grocery store was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just remember that Simpsons episode where like Apu was scratching out dog food and writing hurricane food on things.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we're very lucky in that where we live, hurricanes are not traditionally that big of a deal.
We're that, and we've got a fairly resilient infrastructure that we don't lose power and water for weeks at a time. Yeah, which, oh my gosh, I was at this trauma conference yesterday, and there was a guy talking. He was from one of the USAR teams. I think he's from Jersey's, but he was on the line or radio or whatever I didn't know about it earlier this month. There was a cave rescue in Turkey.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, yeah. That there was four of them, and they were all like, well, two were super experienced, and two
You are
were
totally jumping over my topic for the day.
okay. Then I'll stop.
Immediately. Just jump right into my topic.
Stop. Okay, I'll stop.
Man, how
Yeah,
did you do that?
I don't. It's just the crazy way things work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was disappointed at the trauma conference. There was only two of us from Salisbury. I don't know how many were online. So
Right. Yeah. Probably not that many.
well, there were only 7 EMS folks in the room. Yeah. So, and the majority of them were not.
Not the MS folks.
No. So,
I
but yeah, it was
I,
a good
I
conference.
don't.
Our new assistant medical director, she had one of the first presentations.
Oh, good. I haven't met her
On
yet.
thoracotomies.
Oh,
Yeah. You'll. No, you won't. You'll see her. She'll be around for paramedic refresher.
I don't know. I've had my fresh this year.
Oh, well then, yeah.
Yeah. I refresh
I
next
think
year.
we might. And you guys don't work Monday, do you? No. All right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out times for her to come around and meet everybody.
It'd be good for her to ride. That would be good for the people. I know
Yeah,
that's a
we're
thing.
actually talking about that Monday to get her scheduled so we can figure out when she wants to ride.
Yeah. But I was going to say about these trauma conferences. I've been to numerous conferences, and one of the
Mhm.
problems with these interdisciplinary conferences is a lot of times they just don't apply to you, your job.
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels like, oh, okay, I just sat through a 3-hour lecture that has nothing to do with me, And I'm not going to just all EMS out. I went to FDIC, and I was like, none of these things apply to me. These people all live in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
I went to a conference in FDIC, and I went to one of the things, and the guy's like, okay, and your sixth man on the engine does this. And I'm like, I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a staffing of 6 all the time. Okay, well, this isn't 1943.
Yeah. Yeah. What dream world are you living in?
Yeah, we have 3 people.
Well,
Tell me how to
when
accomplish.
they aren't running calls, they're out whitewashing the picket fence.
Yeah, getting their pickle cake or whatever from you.
Pickle cake.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
And the hazmat ones are
Oh my
bonkers
god.
bad.
Yes.
oh yeah, we put our third hazmat team on there, so we get an extra 36 people. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. And of those 36, 34 hazmat techs, and 2 of them are hazmat specialists.
yeah. I went to a conference once, and it was in Baltimore for hazmat, and the guy's like, "Yeah, we're really trying to get up with the NFPA committee and really change the recommendations to you have to have 24 technicians on scene before you start any hazardous materials." And I was like,
Well, we'll never start a hazardous
"What?
materials call.
What world do you think that that's acceptable?"
Yeah. Yeah, FDIC. Or I mean,
Right?
FDIC, FDMY.
Uh,
Maybe.
Maybe. He's like, well, in our department we have 48 technicians on scene on shift. I'm like, okay, well in my department I have 2, and that's not even guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what?
Hmm.
You gotta live differently than that, bud.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
luckily, that I think that I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure because I followed the NFPA committee and they were like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
That's not the world we live in.
Yeah. But you're right. It's some of those, and it's like, oh, when the fourth paramedic gets there,
Right.
or well, you're in the ER bay and your 2 trauma surgeons and your cardiothoracic tech. It's like, what dream world?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it it must be great to live in that world,
Yeah.
right? It must
I
be like, oh, I have unlimited resources all the
Right.
time,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we
Yeah. Well,
don't
a lot of
have that.
times those are the same people that you'll do a tabletop or whatever. I'm like, yeah, well, the local ER has 0 patients in it today. It's like, okay, Scooter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I saw the other on D shift the other day. They had 71 patients in the ER waiting room.
Yeah.
That's just the waiting room.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think there's 70 beds in the ER, something like that.
God, are there? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means there was 140 people probably plus
Oh yeah,
some
easily. Yeah.
sitting in the ER,
Yep.
at any one time, and we're just like, let's bring more. Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. We it's an interesting world we live in,
It is. It
but
is.
that's
Which
the that's the actually. To be honest, I went to a tabletop with PRMC, and they were like, "Well, we're gonna evacuate all the patients." I said, "Okay, how you doing
yeah.
that?"
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we're gonna put them on ambulances. Oh,
Where are
where are
these
they coming from?
ambulances coming from?
Yeah. Then there was the same one that they got mad at me because they said, "Well, we're gonna call the hazmat team. They're gonna come to our hospital and they'll do decon there." And I said, "Well, here's the problem. The hazmat team's already on the call.
Yeah.
They're already there. They're already committed. There's no other one,
Yeah, they're up to their elbows in alligators, folks.
right? There's not a second one going. Oh, we're just waiting around." Yeah.
Oh, you want our standby hazmat team to come in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Sorry, I wasn't aware. We had a second one sitting
yeah.
around all these years.
God, yeah. They've got a special phone they pick up to call them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
God.
on the way. They're about 2.5 hours out.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's if they're not running calls.
Right.
Yeah. Which
Yeah, because
is
that's the thing people don't understand is in any of these big emergencies or anything, regular calls are still happening.
yeah.
Yeah, just because a sinkhole opened up, Grandma Schmerkins on the other side of town still fell and needs help up.
Mm-hmm. You're still getting your chest pains calls, and
Yeah.
you know, that's what like I was telling you before. I mean, we were literally one call away from 911 having to say, "There's just no one coming."
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, because who are you going to call? Like, you're not calling. At that point, we would have been calling Sussex County and hoping they had a unit somewhere available.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not calling Somerset County
Why not?
because we already got 3 units in Somerset County covering
Yeah.
their calls. You know,
Yeah.
I truly feel we were talking about Somerset County. I guess the um, the Chrisfield people, they
Yeah.
work for the town, and I guess the town made the comment, well, they're supposed to be in our town covering, and I kind of agree with them, right? Like,
Yeah.
they don't want to be AVL'd and covering calls in Salisbury when they should be in
Right.
Crisfield.
Yeah.
You know, and I truly feel for these departments that just have to cover other people's calls because you are constantly out of your district,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
and when you're not in your district and the call comes in, well then somebody has to come to your district, and then it just
Yep.
becomes this
Yeah.
cascading.
And the problem is, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but you know, so you have your jurisdiction and you are like, okay, we're staffing it with this minimum qualification and people that have this training and this and that, and then they get called somewhere else, and you're like, I have no idea who's coming to you now, folks.
Right.
It could be Billy Bumpkin and Freddie Finger that are coming to take you to the hospital.
Well, not only that, but like when these jurisdictions do their staffing decision making,
Yeah.
they only look at their calls,
Oh yeah.
right? Like they're not really looking at, and and it's almost impossible for them to say, "Well, I need to staff a second ambulance because Salisbury needs me," because that's not fair to
No.
their taxpayers.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's a whole mess.
Yeah, it is.
It's a whole mess that can only be solved with money that we don't have.
Yeah. Well, when you're in charge of county EMS,
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. I can't see a world where I take one of those jobs.
Yeah. No.
It's got to be the most frustrating thing in the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because you're literally walking up saying, "This is what we need,
Yep.
and we can't accept anything less."
Right.
And well, can I give you 2 peanuts and a green bean? No.
Ooh, green bean.
Well, green bean, that solved everything.
Yeah.
It's one of those. We were talking about it the other day at work. Like the government is there to provide services. They're not there to make profit. They're not there to make money. They're
Right.
losing money to
Yeah.
provide a service. If you run your EMS department going, well, we're bringing in this number amount of building, therefore we can have it. Well, then you're already doing it wrong.
Right.
The money you bring in for building is nice.
Yeah.
But
it just goes back to EMS needs to be an essential service.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Cool. It's clearly become one.
Well, in theory, but it's not backed as an essential service.
No. The money's not there for it to be an essential service, but now we rely on, probably, let's say 30 years ago, there was no expectation of ALS.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right?
No.
Like the hospitals weren't relying on there being paramedics giving drugs.
Yeah.
Now, if you bring
30
a patient
years
to the hospital,
ago, there were medical directors that were saying the odds of a paramedic ever looking at a 12 lead are slim to none.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And now the push is for paramedics to start diagnosing people in the field and saying, no, you don't need to go to the hospital.
Right.
Right. Like the writing on the wall, like we started community paramedicine, but the writing on the wall is that eventually they're going to say, stop bringing people to the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine.
Yeah. But look, after that conference yesterday, I feel perfectly comfortable doing a thoracotomy.
Oh, good. Good.
Not really. I know landmarks now.
How's your wound debridement?
Somebody else take care of that.
Right. Yeah.
Donnie!
Donnie, get in there. Get that cheese grater over there. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. The future of EMS is such in flux that,
it is, yeah.
This whole podcast could be us just talking about what we think is going to happen.
Well,
it will be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
80% of the time.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked before about, the staffing shortages and this and that. I was listening to she's either current or former director of the London Ambulance Service. Yeah, the UK is in the same dire straits that we are.
Of course they are.
Paramedic shortages and staffing shortages and everything. So it's not just us; it's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I love being a paramedic. Like I didn't want to step out that way, but I ended up loving it. But who would want to go through 2 years of school, all of the crap, all of the responsibility, to come out and make what ultimately is not a fair wage for that job?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's very hard to, unless you're doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say, well, why wouldn't you go to nursing? Why wouldn't you go into X because you're just going to
Yeah.
make more money
Right. Yeah.
and not get your dick beat in? you,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, and maybe that's what we need to start looking at is, do we get these paramedics for a couple years and that's all we have them till they do move on?
I think that's what's going to end up being.
Yeah.
Paramedics going to end up being
Stepping stone.
a stepping stone into nursing or flight paramedicine, or because who's going to look at their career and say, I want to do 20 years of getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning and taking all these calls?
Yeah.
You know, for
Mhm.
I'd be shocked to the world. EMS doesn't pay great.
No. I
There's
saw Cleveland was paying their paramedics in their first year $16 an hour.
awesome.
And they just raised it because, or if you go to Cleveland and you have more than 2 years experience as a paramedic, they will start you out at $28.75.
That's pretty
That
good.
that's a huge jump.
That's a
So
huge jump
yeah,
because they have to.
yeah, yeah.
It,
But the problem is, and it's what we're seeing, company X raises their rates, and then company Y says, well, we're losing people to them, so we're going to raise ours. And then, it's a
right.
vicious
Well,
circle.
the problem
Mhm.
ultimately is going to be this: there's X number of paramedics in the pool, and
Yep.
the pool keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where's those paramedics coming from?
Right. Yeah.
Right now, the paramedics have all of the power,
Oh, yeah.
which you know is fair, but they can leave that unless you're offering them something more than just compensation. They could leave you and
Right.
go,
Oh, yeah.
I could find a job anywhere.
Yep. It's like we used to rely, oh, we've got LEOPS. Just about everybody on the shore has LEOPS now.
Yeah, and Delaware went to the 30-year thing, which is even better than our LEOP. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's it's one of the conversations that people need to have is what can you offer beyond just pay
Yeah.
to make it worth it?
Yeah.
You know,
How
is this
about a nice shiny Zune?
here it is, folks. Yeah, right. Just that how
Yeah.
many paramedic students are there every year? And
Right.
there's so on the shore there's 20.
Yeah. And the
It's not
problem
great.
is most of them already have a job somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already spoken for.
Yeah.
Salisbury, we have 9 paramedics short right now,
Yeah.
and we have 7 in class,
Yeah.
and so we're already below what we need,
Right.
so we can never expand.
Yeah.
And then people are going to leave in that period, so we're even further below.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and because of how municipalities work, we can't just go out and hire 30 paramedics
Right.
and say, "Whoa,
Yeah.
we'll staff you until we can't."
Yeah. In theory, it sounds great, but then, like you said, you can't find the bodies.
When you can't find the bodies. Yeah, we literally couldn't put another medic unit in service in Salisbury,
No.
even though we need it.
Well,
We just don't have the people.
yeah.
We can't even get the people. So it's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem for the future.
It is. You're absolutely right.
Poor EMS people in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at the guys below me and say, "You guys are going to have a shitty time in about 7 years."
I'll be retired.
I'll be retired too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're the 9/11 generation, right? We're the generation of
Yeah.
firefighters that ran to the call
Yep.
because we're like, oh, 9/11 happened. This is our calling now,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That generation's gone. Like that, we're it.
Yeah.
You know, these kids now don't even remember 9/11,
No. Hell,
which
half
is
of them
good.
weren't born.
No, yeah, we had that talk the other day, and one of the chiefs on our department, what did we do for 9/11? What did we do for Pearl Harbor Day?
Yeah.
It eventually it always fades away.
Right.
You know, we don't. No one remembers VE Day. No one remembers VJ Day because our generation don't. That wasn't a thing for us.
Hey, Vijay Day is very nice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
But yeah, no, you're right. It does.
But it's a good thing. Like
Yeah.
the trauma of that should go away.
Absolutely.
You know, most of the people that survived 9/11 have retired, and a lot of the people that were started there have now retired.
Yeah.
You know, it's It's the world moving on.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, it's moving on in the right direction. It's
Yeah.
not. I'm gonna say, oh, it never happened or this and that, but it's you don't have to. Yeah.
No, I mean, probably in another generation, it won't mean anything. It'll be
Yeah.
as meaningless as Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say that to anybody, but that's just how history works.
No, yeah. Exactly. You're exactly right.
Well, have we rigor-rolled?
Yeah, we've rigged and rolled.
Yeah.
Let's go right into topic one, which evidently is caves.
Well, it's not specifically cave rescue
Okay.
and those specialty kinds of rescue, because the turkey thing happened, and then I was reading another article about this dude who got stuck in a cave, and like they tried for 2 days to save him, and then couldn't save him, so he's dead, still in that cave. It happened like
Oof.
10 years ago, apparently. And I was thinking about it, I was like, man, I did not get in the fire department to go running into caves to
No.
pull people out of that. I don't want to do that anyways. Like I don't want to go cave climbing and cave diving.
No. No. Well,
Where
especially
is
with.
the? I was gonna say, where's the line where I can say, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I that's definitely one of those that's like unless you're specially trained, you ain't doing that because like this guy yesterday talking, he was like, yeah, there are some of these caves you go in and it's a 10-inch profile for 500 yards. I'm like, why in the hell are you going through that?
yeah. Why did you get in there?
Yeah,
Why did you put yourself in that situation?
yeah,
And why is it my job to come get you?
right. Wait, that's like this group that went in Turkey. It took them 18 hours to get to where they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know, there's like 3 camps inside this cave system or whatever. And he started to like just had a GI bleed spontaneously. And he sent it, his fiance went out to get help because she was the strongest climber or caver or whatever they call themselves. But it took her
Spelunker.
16 hours to get out.
Jesus.
So she got out, called for help, and I guess went back in or waited for somebody. But they said like the radios wouldn't work past a certain point because they were like 1,000 meters deep.
Oh my God.
And so they had like, base camp 2, and they were like opening things up more because they knew they were going to have to like hoist this guy out. But they would have this little base camp, and then there was let me say, like a 6-hour turnaround. They would get radio directions down, send somebody scurrying through the cave system, talk to the people by the patient, scurry back, and then relay up.
That's insanity.
Yeah, yeah. They took down whole blood and TXA and all kinds of stuff. It took them, what they say, they got to like camp 2 or whatever it was within like 14 hours with equipment. By the time they got to him and got him out, it was like 4 more days or something crazy like that. And I mean, they're doing like TPN and whole blood and all kinds of craziness. But you talk about your massive people. I saw the picture. They had 80 cave rescue technicians or something, and that was just the cave rescue people.
Right. Could you,
So,
could you imagine you're on the medic unit that responds to that,
oh my god,
and they're like, "All right, here, take this bag of TXA and a bag of ringers and go in there and fix the guy up."
yeah,
I'm sorry, what?
yeah.
what
Oh,
what did you
and
say?
here's a flashlight.
Yeah, what? Like the one that came to my mind, like these guys who get trapped on the cell phone towers or the windmills.
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah,
I'm not ready for that.
no,
I I know it's bad to say as a firefighter, but I'm not. I don't even know where to start.
I don't know.
like
I
like you, I would get there and be like, um,
yeah.
sucks. I
Hey,
don't know what to.
he's really up there.
It's really up there. Like that seems really high.
Yeah. Hmm.
But then it you know like this whole conversation happened in my head. I was reading this article. I'm like, what what's the line that because there's something in the fire department about you just go and do it, right? But there's
Yeah.
got to be a line where you
Yeah.
say, I'm not doing that. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to hurt him. Things are just not going to go well. There's got to be a line where you as an individual can say, I'm out.
Right. Yeah.
If somebody was like, hey, that guy's stuck in the shark cage and he needs help, I can tell you, buddy, if you're looking for Ron Wismer, he ain't even going to be near that shark
No.
cage.
Yeah, that's one of those that like it's like, oh God, I'm having chest pains. Ooh, man.
Yeah. You
Ooh.
know,
Or oh my ankle. Oh, it turned my ankle. Oh,
but
you guys go without me. Go without
it's
me.
another conversation about the fire service
Yeah.
that happens though. Is like
Mm.
we're trained to put out fires.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the call I went on last month where we went for an airplane that had emergency, and I said, in my expert opinion, the airplane is not on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
expecting out of me?
Right.
You know, this expectation that we're just gonna we have the answers.
Yeah.
I,
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
was trained to put fires out. I
Yeah.
take some specialty training in like vehicle rescue, and yeah, I know a little bit of hazmat because that's just my own stupid fetish. But you know, to expect me to know how an airplane system works,
Right.
no.
Yeah. No. No.
Some. I was like, are the engines on? Because I wouldn't know. Just tell me if they're on or off.
Yeah.
you
What's it?
know.
I remember that airplane fire course we took or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And they would simulate blowing the tires and stuff. I was like, this is not cool.
You're right. Did you guys have somebody else for that?
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but there's, there's got to be a line. My
Mm-hmm.
brother, he was a volunteer firefighter, and he did it for a while, and he was on an engine company, and he doesn't like heights. He just can't do it.
Good for him.
And
Smart.
and right, and he was like, and it's like 30 feet, and he's out.
Yeah.
And they were like, you got to go up there and ring the bell for fire school. It's one of the things you got to climb the 35 and climb and ring the bell.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, they're like, if you don't do it, you're not gonna pass firefighter one. And so he went and did it. He passed
Oof.
firefighter one, and he said, I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
And if you make me climb a ladder, I'm out. And he was like, he was talking to me about getting a job at the fire service, and I said, well, the problem is they'll just make you do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now there's a young man who could have been a firefighter who's like, fuck that. You're not gonna
Right.
make me do that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm not comfortable. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, he's kind of right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Mm.
I remember in my little 2 weeks or whatever that they would put the old truck 16 like almost straight up and be like, oh yeah, climb to the tip and back. And I'm not a
Yeah.
big heights guy. I got like 3/4 of the way up and a pigeon flew in front of me. I was like, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah. When I was coming into Newark as a volunteer, we had a 105-foot stick, and the last rails are, I don't know, 14 inches. They're very tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know,
sounds fun. Yeah.
yeah. And so I got to that last rail, and I couldn't move my elbows,
Mm.
and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't. I literally can't move
Yep.
my arms.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tight in here. I'm
Right.
out. I'm not climbing any
Yeah.
higher. And I got down, and they're like, well, you just don't override the rider truck again. I was like, sure. I
Cool.
mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But that was their thing. Like you had to climb all the way up there. I'm like, what did this prove?
Yeah.
Just
It's that stupid machismo that the fire service has.
yeah, but
Mm.
it's probably not serving us well.
Oh no, it's not at all.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
you tell me to go into this cave and go find this dude and go
Yeah.
through a 10-inch hole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't put him
He's
myself.
one with the bats.
Look at the spiders in there. You got cave spiders.
Oh my god. I would die.
Yeah.
Or I would open up the cave. One
What
of
does
two
that
things
mean?
would happen. I would either just have a heart attack and die, or I would freak out and just explode the area around me. That's how my mutant power gets erupted.
That's how your fire comes in.
God,
Yeah, but
mighty.
like the guy who they left, who ended up
Mm.
dying, he got into this position and he was actually upside down and stuck.
Huh? Yeah.
But some poor bastard who it probably has bothered him for the last 10 years had to say, sorry, bud,
God. Yeah.
we've tried everything.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. And
just,
and they're doing this for fun is my thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the one in Turkey, they're like, oh, they were going in there to take, I don't know, mold samples or something. I was like, what? No.
Yeah, no,
Send a
no.
drone or something.
Yeah, there's got to be technology that can do that.
Yeah.
I've seen an
But
RC car that can go places.
yeah, but I mean, at least the guy, working on the or gal working on the windmill. I mean, that's a job.
It's a job. Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, and who knows? There could be some mold down there that's going to cure male pattern baldness. I don't know, but get on it, people. But no, yeah.
I don't, I
I
don't,
mean, you're
I don't think.
taking all these. You got to take nutrition with you and this and that. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
the
but there are
moment.
these little camps that they can hang out with. I was like, oh, these little camps. Is there a 7-Eleven in there for them?
As soon as my boss looks at me and like, all right, you're going to go to camp too. You'll be there for 3 days. I'm like, I think I got some vacation time.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm good.
yeah. I'm gonna breathe stale air. Oh, and the USAR guy, he was like, well, the good thing about caves is they're always the same temperature. So if this, in this system, if the cave is 52, then this cave's going to be 52. I said, it don't matter, man. He's saying there's really no humidity in there. I was like, I don't know what you think you're pitching, but you ain't pitching.
Yeah. The moment that you're like, all right,
Hmm.
the hole's 10 inches, but
Yeah.
it goes for 6 miles, and you got to go through it.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No.
good.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Aren't there snakes and scorpions and bears and shit in caves?
Yeah. Yeah, that would
So
be my luck. Like I would disturb like a badger nest or something. And I'm like slowly shimmying behind me. They're shimmying behind me.
coming to get your ass.
God, yeah, just shimmy, shimmy, shimmy behind you.
Yeah.
No.
I'm out. That's
Yeah.
the nice thing about living on the shore or living on the Delmarva Peninsula. We don't have caves.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It doesn't exist.
No.
We don't have cliffs. I like those maniacs who go off cliffs
Oh yeah.
and then expect the fire department to come get them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
here's a rope. If you can come get yourself up, then we'll gladly give you a ride back to
Yeah.
the station. But
Yeah. And I tell you what, once you get up here, I'll give you a bottle of water.
yeah, sure. Tell you what, I'll throw the water down at you.
Catch.
Catch this. As the water bottle hits terminal velocity,
Yeah.
puts a hole in the ground next to you.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I remember as a kid, like we've got ditches and there'd be those culverts underneath them, and people would dare each. Oh, I dare you to crawl through there. Why? Why would you want to crawl through that?
Yeah, because we're dumb. People are dumb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. One funny thing the guy said yesterday. He's like, yeah, because USR stands for unpack, set up, repack, because that's mostly what we do.
Sure.
I was like, yeah.
We have a young man with our fire department who wants desperately to be on those teams. I'm like, I don't think you understand how boring it is.
Yeah. Well, and this guy was like, we get the call and, it takes us 20 hours to drive to, load up and drive down to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give us a mandatory cool down time because you don't want us gassed as soon as we get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's, the second day easily before we're doing anything.
Oh, yeah. I was on that DMAT team. I don't know whatever happened, but when they were talking about deployment and stuff, they're like, all right, we got to be within 2 hours of the airport at all times, and you're going to deploy for 2 weeks. And, the whole first day is just setting up a hospital. I'm like, well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I was always young and idealistic. I was like, that'd be cool. I'll go
Yeah.
set up a hospital. But then you're just taking care of patients. I mean, you're not doing anything more exciting than that. But that situation with the two the one that just happened in Turkey and like the reading about the one, and it was somewhere in America that happened. I was just like, I don't know. I think I would just be like, okay, I don't need this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the underwater cave stuff.
No,
that's
you're
a
done.
whole nother level of.
You committed suicide. If you survived it, awesome for you. But no,
Yeah.
I'm not going after you.
Especially the ones that they like, oh yeah, you got to take the tank out of your BC and slide that in
Yep.
front of you. And no,
Yeah.
no.
There's the one, I don't know where it is. I think it's in the Caribbean. They actually put a sign up that said, like, hey, everybody who goes in this hole dies.
Yeah.
So stop going in the hole.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we're
and they're the
not coming
ones
for you.
that like, oh, you can go through it in this like 2 hour window each day because of the way the current is, but otherwise, yeah, it's nothing but death.
Mm-mm.
It's like no,
No,
no.
no, no, no. We're not. Mm-mm.
Or the maniacs that hold their breath and go through those underwater
Oh, the free
caves.
divers.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
those people are insanity.
yeah,
I can hold my breath real long. That's great, Scooter. Well,
yeah.
look how deep I got. Awesome, Scooter.
Shoot, yeah. You know what? You could do the same thing in your bathtub.
Yeah, yeah. You could get in your swimming pool and there's a lifeguard right there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hold my breath.
yeah,
Yeah.
mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's those specialty rescues. I'm with you. No, no.
And like, if that's your thing, and you really like, I'm sure those cave rescue guys are like, we have been training for this
Oh
for
yeah,
10 years. This is the best thing that's ever
yeah.
happened to us. But
Thank
man,
God they're there. Yeah, but
yeah. But I just think of the poor bastard who first got there.
yeah,
So somebody,
yeah,
some guy or gal just showed up on this call because this woman is screaming bloody murder. And they were like, and she's like, my boyfriend's 16 hours down these caves. Come help him. I
yeah,
get off in about an hour.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we could. Hey, look, there's this cat we can send down there.
Yeah.
That'll keep him company.
Do you know how to start an IV? I'll just give you a bag
Yeah.
and
Look, I'll let you practice on me a couple times.
right. I'm not. I don't know that I would do it. But then the dumb part of me knows, like, I would still try.
Yeah.
The dumb part of me is like, oh yeah, we could do it. We got this. We don't need any help.
Donnie, get down there.
Yeah, Donnie, you got long arms and kind of skinny. Get in there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When they size you up for the team and they're like, how skinny can you get?
Yeah. Well, this is it.
Yeah.
I've been working on this for a long time. This
That's
is
where
as skinny as
you
it
puff
gets.
up like a blowtoad and you're like, oh no.
You want me to get skinnier than this?
Well, that's like, even take that part out of it, just like the water rescue part. Like, I know we're gonna have all this flooding and things, and there'll be all that kind of stuff. And the guy was like, yeah, they talk about these water rescues and everything. He's like, you aren't going into water.
No,
And people are like,
going into
what do you
poop.
mean? And I was like, yeah, it's sewage. He's like, exactly. You're going into poop.
Yeah, it's poop. It's poop and oil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said one guy on his team like almost lost his leg because he got a cut through his dry suit and got like 3 different gram resistant bacteria or something crazy.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember after Katrina, I was still working for a hazmat company, and they had called me. They're like, "Hey, we need to start sending people down to Louisiana." I was like, "Okay, well, I still got to work in Salisbury, so I'm not going." Well, we really need people to go down there for like 2 days and just test the water. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, like there's a lot of oil that got loose, and they need to figure out where the oil is. So, do you want to do
loose like it was in a pen.
that? Well, it actually kind of
You guys
was.
don't chip your oil?
What happened was apparently it was like all this water that was in, or oil that was in like retaining walls, but when the water flooded through, it just literally get everywhere.
Huh.
And there was just there was like hazardous materials everywhere. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound great.
No.
Yeah, these idiots are in fan boats, like jumping into hazardous materials water.
Did Talbot send its fan boat? God.
Yeah. We'll be. It's not going to happen this week. I don't think, but Salisbury, when it floods, it gets crazy.
Oh yeah.
People then are like, "Come help me." Are you on fire? Nah, you're covered in water. Nah, that's the opposite of us. You need to call the water department.
You need the water department.
Yeah, we're the fire department. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some lady called the station the other day. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, except that the people calling us for crazy. She
Yeah.
calls the other day. She's like, my bathtub's leaking. It's like, okay. And she's like, well, I called the water department, but they don't answer until Monday. I said, well, I guess you should probably wait till Monday.
Or you should call a plumber.
Or call up. And she's like, well, plumber was going to charge me money. I'm like,
Yes,
is your house on fire?
you're asking them for a service, of course.
Yeah. And she, and she was
Call
like,
the
well,
volunteer plumbers.
she literally calls the fire department because she's like, well, I hear you guys do this. I'm like,
I
no,
hear you guys do this.
we're not plumbers.
Oh, yeah, sorry, ma'am. Our bathtub unit's actually on a call right now.
Yeah.
The hell?
So,
Yeah.
being the nice person I am, we loaded up, went out there, and it was literally water dripping into the drain of her bathtub. And she's like, I was like, well, just let it keep dripping until you get the plumber out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my drain feels bad. And I was like, lady, this is not us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll hook the hose up and blow out your drain field.
And we've done this to ourselves, where
because we don't say no.
Because we don't say no, and people call and say, "Oh, you guys unlock cars, right?" Nope, that's Papa Lock.
Yeah.
You guys, you'll let me into my house. Nope, that's your landlord.
Yeah.
Stop calling us.
Yeah.
Are you on fire? Yes, no. Because you got the fire department.
Yeah.
We're fire type Pokemon.
Let's you talk about the whole call the water department. I think it was in an ICS class I was in, and it was a flooded situation or whatever. And someone in the class said, "Well, why don't you just open up the manhole covers and all the water will flow away?" And we all turned and looked at this person like, "How dumb are you? It's not just a cork that works."
Did you think that the sewers were waterproof until you opened up the covers?
Evidently, that's what this person thought. Yeah,
Okay.
I was just like, "Oh my god, I hope you don't work for anybody near us."
Yeah. ICS classes with interdisciplinary classes are amazing. I took an ICS class, and I can't remember what our scenario was, but they had this like group was from the college, and they were all college students, and like every other group is done.
Yeah.
And we're like, because this is the last thing you got to do for ICS 400. You got to do this stupid project.
Oh, yes.
Run a scenario.
Yeah.
And every other group is done, and we're all just sitting there with our arms crossed. And like my group is firemen and cops, so we did all the fire and cop crap. And then the other group was like an EMS group, and it was all people who worked in the field. And then like the one group's like Del Dot, so they're like, oh yeah, we got plows on the way or something, whatever they're doing. And this group from the college is like, okay, now we're gonna set up a command board, and we're like, it's like 40 minutes into this, and the instructor goes over, like, what have you guys done? Oh, we're still setting up a committee to talk about what we're gonna do. And we were like, what in the fuck is It was very eye-opening, because these are all people who are trying to become emergency managers for a living, and I'm like, oh boy, this is a problem. Yeah. But here's what I'll tell you, folks: if you get lost in a cave, don't call me. I'm not coming to get you.
Yeah.
If your dog gets lost in a cave, now I might help you.
Yeah. That's in that.
Cat gets lost in a cave.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, cats are liquid; they can get out of everything.
Cats are liquid. But yeah, it's that's the thing. You throw the dog into the mix, it's like, oof, gosh, I will move heaven and earth.
Yeah. Dog didn't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Or didn't reason his way into it.
Yeah.
You made a choice to go in that hole.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a special squeaky ball down there.
Yeah, could be.
Which that's side tangent to that.
Oh, side tangent. Squeaky ball.
In Baldur's Gate, I found the squeaky ball, or the dog in the camp brought me the squeaky ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found another one.
Found another dog or another squeaky ball?
Another squeaky ball.
Oh.
Just out in the wild somewhere. I think it was in the Underdark. I was like, I will bring this back. And the same thing. You throw it and he gets it. So now I have 2 squeaky balls.
I somehow missed the dog.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an option that you can like summon him when you're like out and about.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to. He's a good boy. I don't want to bring him out.
Right.
Well,
I
leave him
found a
back there
dog
safe.
collar, but I did not
Aww.
find the dog.
Aww.
I held that dog collar for 90 hours.
Ooh.
Never found the dog.
Yeah. Well,
I made
hopefully
some,
this playthrough you will.
yeah, some mistakes were made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I finally finish it, we can go through all the mistakes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. A lot were made by me. That's why I don't want to influence you. Let you make your own mistakes.
Oh yeah, I make plenty of them.
Well, on to topic 2.
Sure. Topic 2. Well, one thing. Happy equinox. Last night was the equinox.
Yeah. 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 It's now officially fall.
Yes.
My wife can finally put out her Halloween decorations.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. But I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about there's I guess a service in, I'm sure there are other places, but they were in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And they were talking, it was going to cost this person like $2,000 to hire a landscaper to take care of, like, they have some kind of invasive vines out there or something on their kudzu or what.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But instead, this company will loan or rent you goats, and they put up like an invisible fence. They leave the goats there for like a week and pick them back up because the goats they love to eat this vine. And it's like, what they say, it was like $100 for the, it was 100, or yeah, it was 4 goats, $100 a day for 4 days or something.
Hmm.
I was like, that's so much cheaper. So
Yeah.
it's like, should we look at animal husbandry more for stuff like that?
Like you and I?
No,
Should we
no, no.
get
I'm just saying
goats?
in general. I mean,
Oh, yeah, of course.
use the goats or
Of
use,
course, use the goats. It's the, smart farmers that use goats to keep their grass down.
yeah,
You just put
yeah,
them in an area and you just let them
yeah,
go. And yeah, we were talking about that. Who was I talking to? Because I want to turn my side garden into a pollinator area.
yeah,
I don't really like using Roundup
yeah. No,
because it's not great for things. It's not good for
right.
the water. I mean, there's a lot of problems with using
Yeah,
it. But we've gotten to the world where we just use it
yeah,
on stuff. And but if I had something to eat all that stuff up, I'd be happy to let
yeah.
a goat just go in there and clear it out for me so that I can put bee-friendly plants in.
But then what do you do for the rest of the time with the goat? Or you just rent a goat?
Yeah, just rent a goat.
Yeah.
I don't want a goat. I don't own a goat because it seems like a lot of work, and they
Yeah,
eat everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But no, we have totally screwed up our ecosystem by getting away from stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
we
Well, and
could
also because I mean,
easily,
like the goats and everything, they fertilize and
yeah. Well, I don't know if you watched Clarkson's farm on Amazon, but they had these chicken coops where the chicken coops moved.
huh?
So they would put out a little mesh fence for the
Yeah,
chickens,
yeah,
and they would let the chickens out for a couple of days, and then they put the chickens back in the coop, and then they'd move the coop and put the fence out. So they would eat the grubs and fertilize the grass, and then they
huh?
just you know move it around. I'm not sure it's much more labor intensive than just spreading fertilizer, but
Right.
how much better for the environment is it
Oh yeah,
than
yeah.
spreading poisonous chemicals into the water?
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know, yeah, stuff like that's fascinating to me.
yeah.
I think
Yeah, but
that's
yeah. I mean, I
it's
know we would do. I mean, not like to that amount, but I know like in like this time of year when they start harvesting corn and things like that, that mice would inevitably end up in your house because they're coming from the fields and everything,
mhm.
and we would get them in the attic, and we would take one of the barn cats and put her up there and just let her wreak havoc for a couple days, and then we had no mice upstairs.
Yeah, it's a traditional answer to the problem.
Yeah,
That's what cats are for, right? They're
yeah,
mousers. You know, yeah, I think that stuff's awesome. Um, it was actually Maryland that couple sued their HOA because the HOA wouldn't allow them to have a bee pollinating
huh?
lawn.
Really?
and they won. So the
Good.
Maryland law has changed recently that says they can't stop you from having a environmentally friendly lawn.
Good.
It's because grass is useless.
Yes.
Like it doesn't even, my opinion, it doesn't even look great.
It
You know,
depends.
it doesn't look natural. Like it
Mm.
doesn't look naturally great.
Right. Yeah.
So what you're really admiring is, oh, I really like the fact that they keep it trimmed square, but like
Yeah.
that's supposed to be square, and
Yeah.
it's not supposed to have lines in it. It's not good for anything.
Yeah.
You
God, just tear it all up and put down AstroTurf.
know, sure, but like or put pollinators out so the bees
Yeah.
have places. We tore down all
Mm.
these. I saw this thing in Sussex County they're fighting right now. Sussex County is the only county in Delaware that has like the least strict conservation rules.
Really?
So they've lost like hundreds of thousands of square feet of um, like marshland and forests
Yeah.
in the last year because of all this development. So now they're finally pushing back, saying like you can't just keep stripping.
Right.
Like we need trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't have trees, you're not going to have a county because the wind is just going to take everything away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, you would say like laugh and say that's yeah, it's dumb, but
But it's
the
true. Yeah.
the Dust Bowl in Kansas in the Midwest was because we stripped all the trees away and just let
Right.
it get eroded. We didn't.
Yeah.
We learned that lesson 100 years ago, but we have to relearn it
Yeah.
because the developers are greedy.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just like
Yeah,
down at the beach where they have to constantly pump sand back onto the beach.
yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to tell you something. It's a barrier island. It's supposed to go through its natural degradation and reclamation.
Maybe it was a real bad plan to build a city on a barrier island.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that ended up being a real bad plan.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite Ocean City is literally my favorite place in America because, like, well, we used to not have an inlet, but we have an inlet now, and I
Yeah.
don't think that could happen again. Mm,
Yeah.
Because the hurricane came through, and apparently, like, they were super happy when it happened
Oh yeah.
because they used to have to like overland their stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're on a barrier island.
Yeah.
You're literally on a sandbar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You built your town on something that is to be a barrier to waves.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's
Smart.
like acetate. Like,
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people who enjoy acetate, but like the natural life cycle of acetate is that it's going to move.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
by us fighting it, what are we doing
Right.
to that
Yeah.
cycle?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
This is why the ponies get angry and attack.
that's why the ponies get angry and attack. Yeah, I saw. The oldest lighthouse in America is in Jersey,
Okay.
and it was originally 500 feet off of the water, and in the 200 and some odd years, 300 years at this point,
Yeah.
it's now a mile and a half off the water,
Wow.
just because of the natural, progression of erosion and
Yeah.
sand deposits.
Hmm.
It's kind of cool to me that it's like, wow, that doesn't seem that long
Yeah. Yeah.
to gain a mile of land.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, but like by stopping acetate, are you keeping that erosion from happening in places it's supposed to happen?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chincoteague. Like again, you build a town on a barrier island.
Well, you
What
can't
did
even
you think was going
pronounce
to
your
happen?
city right. So
What's that?
they can't even pronounce their name of their town right. It's
Right,
Chincoteague.
it's Chincoteague. I don't have a shin. I have a chin.
Yes.
Chincoteague. Yeah, yeah. But no,
Yeah.
I think all of the natural ways to do like all these problems, we had solutions for them for millions of years.
Yeah.
We've just made chemicals to do them, and now
It's-
going, wait a second, these
yeah.
chemicals are real
Well,
bad.
it's because people want the quick and easy route.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super easy to spray Roundup, but it's
Yeah.
more annoying to you know
So,
bring a
like,
goat in.
Salisbury has a feral cat problem.
Sure.
Do we bring in what do we bring in for that? Foxes?
Leopards.
Ooh.
Let's
Yeah.
let the jaguar loose from the zoo for a little while.
Yes.
What eats cats?
Wolves?
Do wolves eat cats?
Coyotes? I don't know.
Maybe coyotes.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems
Oh,
like there's a feral cat
they
problem
just
everywhere.
canceled the Folk Fest for today.
Oh,
Good for
look at that.
them.
Good for them. My
Let's see. What eats cats in the wild? Coyotes, eagles, owls, raccoons,
raccoon. I've never seen a raccoon eat a cat. I kind of want to see it
dogs,
happen
and
now.
otters.
Otters?
Yeah.
Man, we'd be the cutest town in the world if we let otters loose.
Oh my god. Yes.
The feral cats are bad, but we've got otters playing everywhere now.
And raccoons.
And raccoons, they got the little hands.
Yeah. Do you think like the raccoons are like the overseers since they do have the people hands?
Yeah, they got people
Do you
hands.
think the other animals look up to them?
Of course they do. They got a mask of
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah, they've got a mask and they're like, look, I can pick this up. I have an
Yeah,
opposable
yeah,
thumb.
yeah. Teach them how to work a car keys and they can drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I can wash things.
They do. They wash. You ever seen it when they wash cotton candy? Oh, it's so
Oh, it's
heartbreaking.
so sad.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
no, it's the feral cat problem.
Oh my
That's a side tangent because we have a feral cat problem in my neighborhood too, and nobody takes care of them.
Oh yeah.
You know, we like my neighbor has started to spay them,
Okay.
but like she has to catch them,
Oh
take
yeah.
them, and get spayed, and I think she's paying for it out of her own pocket,
Yeah. I mean,
which isn't
bless her, but
right.
yeah.
You know,
Instead, you should offer to buy an otter.
we should get an otter
Oh my gosh.
or a sack full of rocks. Which of the two?
Or eagle. You
Or
could learn falconry.
I could learn. Is it falconry if it's an eagle?
Eaglery? Eagle, what?
Eaglery.
It's not
Yeah,
eaglery. What?
yeah.
Oh gosh.
But no, cat things. Oh, jeez, I want an otter. I mean, it's like the Florida boa constrictor problem. Like they have all those boa
Yeah.
constrictors and pythons that are loose in the Everglades, killing everything. Cats are the same thing. They're killing all the birds. Cats kill more birds. They're like extinction animals for birds.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. They still call it falconry, but yeah, they say the golden eagle is the best.
Oh, they have very sharp
Ooh,
talons.
get a gerfalcon.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen one
Hmm.
of those?
Is that the one with the green face?
No. I'm trying to get like how big a gerfalcon is. They're pretty big. Gerfalcon. Let's see. Come
This
on, I want the size of this
Googling has been
bastard.
brought to you by Bing.
Yes.
Godfather.
Aggressiveness. The largest falcon in the world. 48 to 61-inch wingspan.
Oh,
That's pretty
hmm.
big.
Birds are scary.
Yeah, yeah, especially when they get big like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Birds
Or
are
like what
scary.
are those the shoe bills or whatever?
Oh, the spoonbills.
They're spoonbills. Oh god,
Yeah,
that's a thing of nightmares.
yeah. They're big birds too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
given
cassowary. Cassowary.
oh yeah, no. No. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. They're like, look, you got a cat problem. You can either get a raccoon, an otter, or an eagle. It's going to be the raccoon or the otter. Probably the otter.
I'm going with otter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
raccoon's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would probably take care of your cat problem.
God, sure, but yeah, then you got a giant. What do you for the cassowary? You could get a tiger.
But then you have another cat problem.
Then then you have a bigger cat
Yeah.
problem. Then I don't think I mean, maybe a pack of otters could take down a tiger.
I don't
God.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, cassowaries are dinosaurs.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
Literally dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or then wait, maybe you get a hippopotamus to take care of the tiger.
No, hippopotamuses are scary too.
Yeah.
They kill a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, and people don't realize. You're like, oh yeah, they're just fat. No, they have like an inch of fatty tissue, and under that they are pure steel muscle.
Yeah, yeah, no.
They are just aquatic animal tanks.
Don't mess with hippos.
No.
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 No. Mm-mm.
It's just a rhino without the horn.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
no, it's bad
And,
times.
and they can move deceptively fast in the water.
Very fast, and they get addicted to cocaine.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Who was one of the drug lords had his own hippos down in Colombia. Now the hippos are like loose in Colombia.
God.
Yeah.
We had cocaine bear, no cocaine hippo.
Cocaine cassowary.
Oof. No.
Yeah. I'm gonna go buy an otter today.
Yeah.
Take care of my cat problem.
You got a guy for your otter. But is it like, I mean, yeah, there's that side of it, but then what happens? So let's say there's this, yeah, we've got this hurricane coming through. Say it wipes out PetSmart. Could we have, could there be like the potential for a feral hamster population? Because they're not, I mean, they're little domesticated critters, but I mean, what, are, can you
They're not gonna
find hamsters in the
survive.
wild?
I mean,
Or guinea
somewhere, right?
pigs?
Guinea pigs, definitely, right?
Yeah.
They gotta be ready. They're wild somewhere. That's what
Somewhere.
the cassowaries eat.
But not. That's what the cassowaries eat. Yeah.
Cassowaries eat. Somebody's got.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, people go out and buy an otter.
Buy an otter. Get rid of your feral cat problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. As soon as our neighborhood, if we get a couple of extra stray cats, I'm buying an otter.
But they're all over the place in my freaking house. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They sleep under my car.
Really?
I feel like I'm going to turn my car on one day and I'm just going to get wow.
Oh God, that's awful. We used to do that at the farm all the time. Before you start anything, you would knock on the hood and the fender to try and wake them up. But yeah, there are still sometimes when we get cut because it's warm when you park it, so they curl up there and get all warm, and then yeah, you start it up and they get caught in the fan belt. And, ugh, God, then it just burns off slowly. You can't get it out of there. I mean, you get the most of the corpse out of there, but you still got like skin and fur and things about.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
send a raccoon up there.
Yeah, or an otter.
Or an otter. Yeah. I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah. I mean, we went dark with
Yeah.
loose cat skin.
Yeah.
Well, folks, try to stay dry during this tropical storm.
Yeah.
And the
Hope
next
everybody,
2 weeks of rain it's bringing.
yeah, makes out all right. Yeah. And see, all this rain, perfect for an otter.
Perfect for an otter.
Yeah.
Just be out there running around.
Yeah. But take care of yourselves, folks.
All right, folks. Have a good one.